Alright, so I have a lot of people ask me about separating houseplants. So I thought we would look at this aloe today. So it is fairly root bound, and the soil is pretty dry, and you'll be able to see when we get it all separated how many plants are in there. So the first thing we're going to do is separate the roots completely and divide it all out. On the aloes, instead of like cutting the plant up, I like to divide them all out like this. So here are some of the little ones. This is the perfect way I like them to come out, with the main root and some tiny roots attached to them. This is the perfect way for the big ones to come out. They don't really have a very deep root system. They're kind of shallow. So this is the perfect way for the big ones to come out. This pot wasn't very big, and it had a couple of really large ones attached in there. So there's one of the smaller ones, and there's another one in here. I want to try to get out with some roots. There we go. So there's some roots attached to that. I recommend doing this with some gloves, because you know those aloes have some little spines on them that can get in your fingers. All right, let me grab some pot. Because these have gotten so large and top heavy, we're just going to use some big stock pots. If you were doing it for your house, you might get a more decorative pot. I'm going to sell these, so I'm just going to use some stock pots. Notice I put some of that old soil in the very bottom. I'm not going to use very much of it, but there's no sense in wasting it. Then I'm going to top it, the majority of the pot, with some new soil. Aloes do like to be drained, so either a good draining potting soil, or if you've got some extra vermiculite or some sand, you can even add that into your mix. So just put that around, kind of compress it in, and that's kind of what they like. Now, on the aloes, sometimes it's a little bit hard to get them centered because of their roots and sort of how they grow. But if you were separating out a peace lily, it's a little bit easier to get them centered. But in my opinion, that's kind of the fun thing about an aloe, is that it kind of grows a little weird. So now, before you ask, no, I do not separate house plants for people. I have a lot of people ask. These came from a very trusted source, Julie, who works here, so I know that they're not bringing in any bugs or insects. But if there is enough interest, I am considering having a Sunday class when it gets warmer, where if some people wanted to bring in their houseplants, setting up some tables out in the drive, and some areas with potting soil, and a bunch of us would be here, and we could help you separate. You could bring your pots in, you could buy some pots, you could put them, I have plenty of these stock pots if you just want to put them in some stock pots and let them grow for a little while before you transplant them into some more decorative pots that you have at home. So you can comment on this post if you have some interest in a houseplant separation class. So, but I would do it when it's warmer. because I wouldn't want all of those plants in the greenhouse just in case they do have some friendly critters that they would be bringing along with them. So I hope this helps. So there's how you can separate some of your houseplants.